Okay. I put together some tracks. So what I'm gonna do is kind of let you hear. Um, I'm gonna let you hear this track that I did. That I'm gonna kind of, kind of. Well, actually, I'm gonna put. I did some tracks on. Right now, I'm doing the drums, and I'm setting everything up. So I'm going to kind of. I'm gonna bring some of these levels up so you can kind of hear the track, and then I'm gonna show you. Basically, how I would uh, make it sound more like a finished record, I guess. So, okay. So, so that's generally the track. Um, so what I'm doing right now is I'm working on the drums, and so I'm gonna bring these other ones down, and I made it's 4 tracks here. It's just some drums. It's bass, some keys, strings, guitar sound, stuff like that, and I put a reverb unit on one of the auxiliary channels here, and then I created some bus tracks, some bus. So right now I'm working on the drums, so I'm just gonna. So the EQ that I used was just T-Rex. This is what it sounds like with the with it this EQ. That's what it sounds without that EQ. So that's the EQ, and then I sent it to a drum. I sent it to a drum bus. I sent it to a drum bus, and the drum bus I have this API 2500 type of compressor, because those are usually pretty punchy. API stuff is pretty punchy. That's without the compressor. With the compressor. Okay, so All right, so now I'm gonna bring the bass. I'm gonna bring the bass in. I got it looping, so I only did 8 bars. So the tone of this bass already sounds good, so I'm not gonna. Normally you can EQ that, you know, but sometimes some things don't always need to be EQ'd. But it does definitely need some, because there's some peaks in there. There's some louder parts. So I'm gonna put a compressor on that. Just insert a compressor on that one. So I'm gonna use something pretty so we'll use this compressor. Now that's with the compressor. Let me turn the compressor off. You can hear. With the compressor. All right, so now what I want to do is keys. Now keys sound okay. But they can use a little bit of EQ. So there's an EQ that I like. I don't know if I have it on this computer or not. There it is. Okay. And that one's okay. I'm gonna try another EQ because that's not really bringing the keys out like I want. Normally that's a pretty good plugin, but for some odd reason not working on that one. So I'm going to try a different one. Let me go. Let me see where's that. I just saw it. I just saw it. Give me 1 second. I just saw it. Yeah, there it is. I'm in the wrong section. Okay. Let's try this one. There we go. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is send that. I'm going to add this plugin on. I'm going to put it on 2, and let's see. I'm going to put in like a large chamber. And I'm gonna put this, but and then I'm a 2. All right, here we go. I don't know if you can hear the difference. How that just gave a little bit more width. Okay, so now I'm gonna come over here and listen to the strings. So what I'm gonna do is just send that to, because these strings those don't need to be EQ'd. So I'm just going to. So now let's listen to this other part. So now I'm just gonna, like the same thing, just gonna send it to the reverb. So what I'm gonna do now, same thing, just gonna send those horns to the verb. Okay. Okay, so now this guitar, I'm going to do two things on here for this guitar part. Let me see the guitar part, which is track. So what I'm gonna do on that guitar part, I'm gonna use the it's called a guitar. It's like a, yeah, it's basically a guitar amp modeling. There's ample amplitude, and then Cakewalk has one called TH3, which is also a guitar amp modeling plugin, which is, I think, is pretty good. So now that it came in, now I can add my own guitar cabinet and guitar cabinet and everything. So I can add bring in the type of cabinet, the amp head, the cabinet that I want. So I'm just going to add in. So now I got the guitar cabinet, and if I want to use a pedal, I can. So I can, if I want to add like a chorus or something like that, or flange pedal or something like that. So I'm going to put it over here. So turn it on, turn it off. And I'm going to send this to 4. Okay. I just moved the mic around a little bit, the speaker, just to change a little bit of it. Without the amp modeler. Now I'm sending that to auxiliary 2. So now what I want to do is I'm going to, if I'm going to add a bus compressor on this, well, let me see how, let me put the EQ, and I'm going to use what they call white channel EQ first. All right, so I just put an EQ on there, and now I'm just going to put the final on the master bus. I'm just going to put the last ingredient, which is the bus compressor, on there. And how plugins work is whatever's on top, the signal's going through that first. And then whatever you got below it, the signal's going through that. It's kind of like if you patch in something on a patch bay. You patch in whatever the first gear, then it goes out of that gear into another piece of gear. That's creating a signal chain. That it works the same way in plugins. So it's just based on the order of the plugins. That's the signal is going through that. So it's going to go in that order as well. So it's going to come through my EQ here on the master bus, then to the bus compressor, and then out the master output. So naturally, this has only been 30 minutes since I'm playing with this, but typically, of course, if I had vocals recording, you know, of course I would have vocals, and then I would set up my vocal and what I'm going to do for delays on vocals and what processing I'm going to have on a vocal as well, and how I'm going to pan the vocals and all that as well. I might do that in another video, but you can start to see how it's all starting to come together. From where it started, and then after it's done, then of course it's ready to be mastered. But that's the idea. Kind of where I would use some of these plugins and compressors and all that. You gotta kind of judge whether something needs to be EQ'd. Sometimes things don't need to be EQ'd. Sometimes things don't need to be compressed. Sometimes it's just, you know, sometimes things just need to be mixed, or, you know, how you're going to pan it or how you're going to blend it and stuff like that. So you have to use your judgment on certain things. And that is a lot of reverb, so I will probably bring some of that reverb down some on. So yeah, I just want y'all to hear my approach to certain things. So that's going to do it for this video. I just, you know, so you can hear the difference between when I first started. And like I said, I'm gonna do something with vocals so you can hear that too. And that's gonna do it. I just want y'all to hear how this is kind of like my approach to something. If I recorded it, you know, how it start to prep the song, or, you know, get ready to mix the song, or whatever the case. All right, thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.